Doing one guys are doing. Okay, it's not working. Give me a sec. Okay, okay, so having a wonderful day on this 3rd July 2025. It is very early, but we are in a good mood, so it doesn't really matter. We're gonna be making some couple of videos, and that's pretty much it. I'm a bit tired, so a bit harder. Okay. Dome Link, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. I'm doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 3rd July 2025. Today I don't work, so we have a bit more of a free time, which is great because tomorrow is our last day. Which means that tomorrow, instead of doing a little shift, I'm doing a full shift. And I prefer that because would you like to go in and work twice instead of once? So today we have a very simple day. I'm going to see my father in about a little bit of time. I like to see him once a week. So this is just once a week. But I woke up. I woke up because I was super fucking tired. So I was super fucking tired. So we went to sleep very early on. We went to sleep. It was 11 o'clock. Right now it's 5:47. So we slept a little bit, which is always good. Also, when I wake up, I usually wake up at like 6:30, 6:15. So it's becoming a bit more normal. That being said, the plan of today, we're gonna see my father, and then I'm gonna be streaming some Elden Ring. I'm liking Elden Ring a lot lately, a whole lot. So if I can play this game, I'm gonna be playing this game. I want to make some couple of videos. I'm gonna have to really choose the time today because there's some thunderstorm, and I want to capture that on videos. So that's pretty much it. Then it's gonna be a normal day instead of just making content. And that's pretty much it. So pretty fucking boring, but hey, somebody has to do it, right? Don't link, yes, your boy, welcome to the show. You guys are doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 3rd July 2025. It is early morning. We are seeing or witnessing the sunrise, which is kind of cool because we haven't seen the sunrise in a while. Of course, when I work, it's a bit harder to film it, but not to say that I don't work, we'll be able to film it. Of course, it's not the best sunrise ever. However, I think it's the first sunrise I filmed in like a week, so. Just like the world is ours. We are who we are. We're dancing like we're dumb. Mm. Not that bad, right? It's nice. No. You're charging. What that matters is this. You're charging, I'm happy. Good, you're charging. Nice. Okay. Do all channel, Mr. Beast. You cannot do that anymore. Don't blink if you blink. Okay, welcome to our show. I'm doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 3rd July 2025. It is a beautiful, gorgeous sunrise. As you can see here, very subtle. Very subtle, but somehow it works. Today, I'm asking you kind of like a cool question. I was witnessing that a lot lately. People complaining about social media and how it's changing, right? And I want to ask you guys a simple question. What is one of the function that you miss the most? Because with social media changing, some of the things are way better, way better. Some of the things are way worse. And it's all a question of what you prefer and what you don't like. What I miss the most is how easy it was on YouTube. Because I'm more so familiar with YouTube. How easy on YouTube it was to do a PIP or picture in picture. So doing your thing and looking at a small corner of your screen for a video on YouTube. Also, one of the functions that I miss the most is do all channels. So about a year ago, what you were able to do is you were able to go on a channel of somebody and go in their own page, go down a little bit, there was videos, and then you had play all. So play all of the videos of one channel. Now, if you were good, you were able to do random, so it's not in order. There's just something that I really, really miss. What are some of the fun that you miss? Are there, and on what websites? It's harder. It's harder. Donc, qu'est-ce que vous voyez quand vous comptez show? Bon matin.
Bon matin.
Ça va bien?
Ça va bien, merci.
Good. Hope you're doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 3rd July 2025. Today we are answering a very, very important question. That was my neighbor. No, she's super nice, super nice. It is 5:52. So a lot of people would be throwing knife at this time. She's throwing smiles, so we're happy about that. We're asking the age-old question: can you differentiate a person from the art? So a lot of people that we watch, a lot of people that we have as hero when we're younger, they turn into something else. For example, I'm going to take the classic example of well, I'm going to talk about personally. I'm going to go for something that's more broad wide, and I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this video. So my opinion, Kenny versus Penny. Kenny Otts was one of my idol. But then when you said that you really like this guy, people were like, well, he's cheating and he's lying and morally he is wrong. So people would give me shit about liking a certain person. And I was like, well, it's not because on a show he's an asshole that he's actually an asshole. Now, later on, that was proven to be true. There was a lot of interview with the cast, and the cast were always saying that Kenny was treating us better. Does that make Kenny a good guy? No. Was I able to differentiate the fact that he was an asshole? Yes. At the same time, he was an asshole, but he was also entertaining, which is the next video we're going to do. And I didn't care about how much of an asshole you were if I was entertained. If I wasn't entertained, you were just an asshole. If I was entertained, you're like a funny asshole. And to me, that was kind of nuts. Kind of nuts. Later on, he talked about how he regrets everything that he did, blah, 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 which is like, bro, you were my idol, so you regretting that means that I should regret my life choices that were influenced by the way you taught me to do things. You know, a bit of a step back. However, we all change, and with maturity comes questioning, doubt. Did I do something? Did I go too far? And so at the time, yes, it went too far. Another case, more popular, Kanye. So people, there's this old meme of I miss the old Kanye. I miss a young Kanye, right? And we saw Kanye, and of course, right now he has very different views. But then you listen to what North says, and North worships Kanye because Kanye is a celebrity, but he doesn't have a nanny. He has an apartment, and although a very luxurious apartment, he's living in his own home. So Kanye kind of said no to fame. We know the whole thing with the paparazzi and how much it was too much for him. We see that he had to protect his family. Even his wedding with, or his whole thing with Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian liked paparazzi. Kanye didn't like the paparazzi. So Kanye was getting mad at paparazzi when it was not their fault. We're just following celebrity. That was their job, you know. But then again, you look at some of the word he's saying, some of the tweet that he's tweeting. Should Kanye be on Twitter? I don't know. I don't know. But then you look at some of his songs, right? And they're brilliant. Power, Art of Heartless, which is really good. You got also Runaway. Let's have a toast for the douchebag. Let's have a toast for the asshole. One that I know. Let's have a toast for the jerk off. Super talented. And even when you look at his documentary, Kanye was a sweet guy. Kanye didn't have it easy. Kanye, he did a documentary. I don't know. Um, it's something. It's a different name. It's not Kanye. It was on Netflix about a year and a half ago, and it was about his mom, Danda, which really really guided him. And when he lost his mom, he lost all guidance. So the way he's acting started changing. Right? She was also keeping him humble. She was also telling him, "Don't be too egotistical," you know. And when she left, those lessons or those teaching kind of took the border. He was making an effort because his mom was there, but because his mom wasn't there, he didn't make an effort. So, what I'm trying to say by that is nobody's born evil. We all get influences. Do I agree with what Connie says right now? No. Do I see a man in pain? Yes. I really see a man in pain. I really see a man that is suffering and went through a lot, and that possibly changed his perception, his brain chemistry, right? So that's pretty much it. Now, the reason why we're doing this video is because I told a couple of people that I love right now. People are saying, "Hey, what are you watching?" So, as a content creator, I have a small following, of course, and that small following sometimes look up to me for certain things. For example, what are they listening to? For example, what should they watch? And I said that lately, what's really, really, really making me happy is Barstool. It's Dave Portnoy reviewing pizza. There's just something about it that I really enjoy. I think it's the verbalizing. I think it's the simplicity. I think it's the accent. I feel like there's a certain attitude to it, certain badassery to it. But what I like the most is how he's interacting with people. People are like, "Yo, you should try this pizza," and then there's just a lot of there's a lot of street smarts. You know, it's not about how good the video is or how good the content is. It is instead how enjoyable it is. And then I was told that, oh, you know that this guy's like he has some pretty bad like political views. And I was like, I didn't talk about politics. I didn't talk about countries. I talked about I talked about a video for pizza, you know, and people really really got on me for liking Dave Portnoy. And at first, I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of sucky. I told you guys what I like, and then it was kind of like a bad thing. So next time I'm telling you guys, next time you guys ask me what I like, I'm just not gonna answer. But is that the answer? That's the answer. And then the question is conviction. Conviction. Should I be ashamed of liking something? Sangria. Virgin sangria, of course. Let us be PC. Should I be ashamed of what I'm watching? Should I be ashamed of some of my preference? I mentioned I like Kenny versus Benny. A lot of, technically speaking, morally speaking, Benny was in the right, but Benny was so insufferable. He was complaining. He was really annoying, of course. Then he didn't make the show, right? And then this is the question: if and and of course we're talking about if, right? If I'm telling you, hey, I really like this guy, which is Dave Portnoy, and you tell me, well, some of his content is very horrible. Can I avoid this content? Can I really avoid it? You know? And then the answer is yes. You know, you don't have to. You don't have to follow. You can disagree with someone, but still be civil about it. And your conviction. A video is good. It's good. Not because the guy said something years later that you don't agree with. Oh well, technically speaking, all of his videos are kind of shit right now. No, that's not how it works. Conviction will tell you, hey, I like this. I don't care about your opinion on it. I like it. If I like it, I like it. If you don't like it, I respect that, but I like it. Another one of these, great. And then we're going to go in a little bit more for a simple matter. talk about a person called Tana Mongo. So Tana Mongo, why is she so important? Pretty irrelevant nowadays. Sorry, Tana, but Tana is a very special case. So Tana started on YouTube, and she did the same thing as Emma Chamberlain. She did a lot of things like lot of other people YouTube. Tana grew up in a very hard family. It was very hard to grow up in. The environment that she grew up in. Her father was kind of special. He loved her, but was kind of special. Tana was also giving a lot of freedom at a young age, a lot of money at a young age. People really enjoyed the storytelling of Tana. People really enjoyed how down to earth she was. She was just a chill girl. Tana would come back to school, sit in front of the camera, and tell a story. And it was really nice, and people really fell in love with the character, really fell in love with what she was going through. She turned trauma into humor. People really fuck with that. And now you look at Tana. So she did TanaCon, which is a well, kind of like a cash grab, to be honest. She did Tana's Angel, which is a agency. So there's this girl called Camille Arujo. Camille Arujo is a girl that went on Mr. Beast, and Mr. Beast also is going to talk about Mr. Beast. She went on Mr. Beast, right? And then later on, she's really gorgeous, and then people were like, "Yo, I really like the way she looks." So people were complimenting her, and then with Camille Arujo, it's kind of special because with Camille Arujo, it's actually a really good story. It's a really good concept to prefer video. And then think about it. The plan was to talk about Dave Portnoy and kind of justify myself. We're gonna do more than that. Do way more than that. Camille Arujo came. She had a small following. And then she went on Mr. Beast for a video called The Squid Games, actually. And by the way, we're watching season 2 right now, and it is fucking good. So she started, they started following her, and she was really, really, really pretty, and she got a lot of following. So she did an OF, right? And then the kind of cool thing with Camille Arujo is she did the same thing as Tana Mongo. Tana Mongo and her both created an agency for only fan girls, and it sucks because the agency in itself is very bad. It's very bad. So, for example, you're gonna promote this OnlyFans girls. So how are you gonna promote her? We're gonna make her work with some of the biggest name. You're gonna give her visibility, but then you're gonna take a cut. So this is similar to proxenetism, or verbalized. You're a pimp. You have this girl working for you, or this guy working for you, and they're doing something that is adult work, which is sexual, and because they're doing this, it kind of makes you like a pimp, right? Now, I don't even know the legality behind it. Is she taking a big cut? If she's not taking a big cut, is there moral behind it? It's cool, right? Give me a second. I'm gonna be right back. I have to go to the bathroom. we're back. I don't even know the legality behind it. I don't know how bad it is or how good it is. So it's hard for me to form an opinion. On the surface, on moral speaking, it's bad, but is it really bad? And then you realize that people have been doing this for years. So you take some of the biggest content creator and the golden age of YouTube. So the golden age of YouTube was possibly before the apocalypse. There was a lot more content, a lot more people doing what they were doing. So before the apocalypse, people on YouTube, and I'm saying about YouTube because I know YouTube. I don't know TikTok. I don't know Vine. I don't know anything but YouTube. I don't even know Twitch. And I've been on platform for 4 years, so bit more of a me problem than something else. With the apocalypse, before it came, people were making a lot of money. A lot of people, that content creator, would come with a dollar sign. For example, right now, the platform that pays the most is Snapchat. So a lot of people that you're seeing on YouTube before, you see them on Snapchat. Best example, 2 people. Lance Stewart, who had billions of views on YouTube. Do you think the guy is rich? Do you think the guy is making a lot of money? However, most of the time right now, when you see him doing TikTok battles. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's more dollar per hours, and I think there's this mentality of dollar per hours, of course. This mentality, you're bred like that. You're bred to believe that the only way to make money is a 9 to 5. And because you're bred to only think that money comes from 9 to 5, and you associate time with money. And when you associate time with money, this is how much money can I make per hours? Because this is the thing. You got 24 hours per day, right? If you're lucky, you'll work 10. If you're a worker. But if you see most people that have 8 hours, even if you're a content creator, that's what you do. I watched an interview with somebody talking about Eminem. I think it was Akon, but I'm not sure. And they were talking about Eminem, and they were talking about how he comes in at 8 o'clock, takes an hour lunch break, and he leaves at 5. Like a 9 to 5. Each treated like it. He decided like it. A lot of people are viewing it. So it's not like a question. If you work 8 hours per day, you have a choice between making $120 or $150. You're gonna make $150, right? Is how much money can I make per hours? That way, at the end of my day, after 8 hours, I don't have to work more. I don't have to work less. I'm just making more money. When you look at YouTube, there was something called the Content House, which is golden age of YouTube, where there was the most content creator, there was the most content, and one of the houses was Team 10. Team 10 is led by Jake Paul. Was 10 members that were doing content, and Jake Paul, who already had millions of followers, would kind of promote it. And again, what you have the house, you had utilities, you had a name brand, you had popularity because you were associating yourself with this. I'll talk about Kim Kardashian before. You wanna know how she started? People think she started with a sex tape. She didn't start with a sex tape. She was an assistant to Paris Hilton. Right? Then this got her some notoriety. Then when she made a sex tape, it wasn't, oh, she's a nobody. Like, hey, this is the best friend of Paris Hilton, and she'll get sex tape. You know? And his whole idea wasn't even hers. Paris had a sex tape. Paris didn't need a sex tape. She was popular, she was rich. She was smart. Paris Hilton is really smart, actually. And it got leaked, right? You know what's insane? Kim said the sex tape was leaked. Paris Hilton said the sex tape was leaked. Do I believe Kim? No. Do I believe Paris? Yes. Why? You already had a career before that. She followed the trend. She followed, like, hey, this person really got a lot of notoriety with her sex tape. You know the craziest thing with that is her stepdad was super famous. Her stepdad was Bruce Jenner. He used to be Bruce Jenner. Now it's Caitlyn Jenner. But Bruce was a Olympic athlete. There's a lot of notoriety with that, you know? To come back to the Content House with Team 10, they were a contract, 3 years contract. And you would pay 10% of what you make to Jake. And it was a 3 years, and you could kind of do it. And the funniest thing is, when you look at the original team member of Team 10, I think there's Jake left, and I think there's Erica Costell left. By the way, you see me kind of being a fan of Jake. Am I a fan of Jake? I think he's building an empire, and I think that two of the biggest name back then was Jake Paul and Logan Paul. And I think if you look at Jake and you look at Logan, I think Jake is a bit more morally speaking correctly, which is again the concept of this video. Can I forgive someone for their art? Can I enjoy somebody's art if I don't enjoy the person himself? And that was kind of the end all be all. And then we're talking about here, so you talk about big content creator. We're also thinking about a huge member. So for example, one of the nicest things that everybody has ever done, people see the legacy of PewDiePie solid, dirtied by what he says. Dirty because he was behind a lot of the apocalypse. Apocalypse was when Logan Paul filmed somebody dead in a forest. But it wasn't that. It was multiple things. It was PewDiePie saying the N-word. It was PewDiePie having some almost neo-Nazi terms. Or, yeah, he did some pretty fucked up shit. And then, since they were both the biggest content creator, so a lot of the sponsor or people that paid for ads on YouTube left, which means that there were less people willing to do ads on YouTube. It was the more thing to do. Companies started boycotting YouTube, and they were like, you know what, fuck you, we're not gonna enable this, or we're gonna condone this by not giving you money. And then a lot of the company that were doing ads left. So YouTube did the only thing that you could do, which is not a marketing scheme, but a marketing technique. The simple law and demand, offer and demand. So YouTube now had a lot of offer for their product and not a lot of demand. They had not supply and demand. They had a lot of supply, which is time for ads, and they didn't have a lot of demands. They did what they lowered their prices. So company that stayed were paying a lot less. Now, if your revenue is based on ads, if ads are giving you less money to the company, they're giving the content creator less money. A lot of people left after the apocalypse. They're like, there's no money in there. This site is dead. And then something else happened. So this is kind of like a cosmic effect. And actually quite simple, but also quite amazing, because in history, this is one of the only thing that happened like that. So people were paying less for ads, which means that ads were giving you less per video. A lot of people, superstar, that were there for the money, left. Now, those people leaving for the money brought in views, brought in traffic to the YouTube. For example, I don't know if you're watching 10 people videos. You're watching 10 YouTuber, right? Now, and if they didn't leave, they stopped making content. Now, out of the 10, 6 of them left. So the 6 people that you used to watch, you don't watch them anymore, which means you're spending less time on the website, which means that the website is making less money, which means it's paying its content creator even less. You know, it's nuts. It's nuts. The same thing happened with Twitch. Twitch is trying to be more politically correct, which means that a lot of people are moving to platform like Kicks. And a platform like Kicks that allows you to do more will be a better platform for IRL streaming. And right now the popular thing is IRL streaming. You look at the Streamer University, that's IRL. And that's pretty much the biggest thing in the last 5 years. It's all like that right now, you know? That's kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy. I've heard some people saw an opportunity. Enters Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast saw a huge opportunity. Well, a lot of people are leaving making content, so I'm going to start making content. And Mr. Beast, when he was trying to start, the that he was doing were really good. I'm going to be reading the Bible. I'm going to be reading the dictionary. Or something else. For example, he said, I don't remember if it was Jake Paul or Logan Paul, but he said the name for 10 hours. No, I think he said Logan Paul for 10 hours, and then he saw It's Everyday Bro for 10 hours, right? That's how he got a lot of popularity. Mr. Beast became the biggest thing. And Mr. Beast kind of brought a good face on YouTube. It was about giving money, it was about charity, it was about, I have a lot of money, play for money. right? And then it really kind of so the way Mr. Beast did things was a bit more corporate. It became a lot more. It became a lot more. Um, this is actually crazy. It became a lot more about quality of content. So back in the days, we're talking about 2010, 2012, 2016. Um, very big content creator had a team, and that team was a couple of things. You had a manager, you had a cameraman, you had a editor. That was it. That was it. You had those four things. You were balling. You were balling because the manager could get you contracts, sponsorship, shit like that. The cameraman meant that you didn't have to focus on putting the camera. You didn't have to focus on where am I filming. All you had to do was talk in the camera. It made things simple. It made you less. It makes you more creative because you have to think about one thing. And then you had an editor, which would do clips of you, which is still the case today. Clip farming is huge today. Clip farming, which is trying to get clips out of the stream, because shorts are now paying. So short are paying. There's money to be made in shorts. They're paying a lot less. So, yes, if you were lucky, you had that. Nowadays, everybody has this. Everybody has a cameraman. Everybody has an editor. There's people studying to be editor on social media, which is insane. Mr. Beast kind of made it more corporate. A lot of people were mad at that. A lot of people say, "Oh, you're taking the artistic side of it." I was talking about PewDiePie. PewDiePie gave a lot of shoutouts. Gave a lot of shoutouts to people like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, which were small channels to begin with, and then blew up. Markiplier has billions of views on YouTube. Billions of views. But now you see Markiplier taking more of a break. He's doing less content, you know? He had a little scandal lately. Markiplier. He uploaded a video on YouTube that was an hour long. And the audio was cut off. He made a mistake editing. There was no audio. So that video, in 15 hours, had millions of views. And there was no sound. It just goes to show how much people care, you know? And then with Mr. Beast, he created stars. I reacted to 3 Mr. Beast videos. Out of those 3, every single time there's a person that makes a social media career. All you need to do right now is to be on a Mr. Beast video, and you kind of have a career in front of you, in a sense for life. Mr. Beast faced canceling a lot too long ago. So Mr. Beast faced canceling a lot too long ago because of NDAs. NDAs where people, for example, Mr. Beast was paying you a certain amount of money. Some people didn't get that money. Some people got less money, right? Some people, instead of getting X, they get X minus 2. Now, the reason for that is pretty simple. Tax, and tax is a big thing. So if I'm paying you $100,000 and tax is 50, well, I'm going to be paying you 80,000. You're still making more than that tax. However, I'm not able to pay you as much, first of all. Now, smarter people were able to understand that, my apologies, people were able to understand, guess what? It's not about how much money I can make in one time. It's not about how much money I can do with one Mr. Beast video. Can I get a social media career out of that? It's kind of funny. I'm watching a lot of Jersey Shore lately. I'm watching a lot of Jersey Shore lately because I'm a fan of the show. And I haven't watched the show in years, so I'm starting to watch it again. So then I'm watching this TikTok, and they're reacting to it. And this TikTok, by the way, is the only way to watch the whole series without getting copyrighted, right? And what they're doing is they're doing like parts of 5-6 minutes. The problem with that is every single video they're plugging their merchandise. They're really plugging it. They're making I'm not gonna say the couple because I think they're hustling, and you shouldn't get mad at hustling, but it's very aggressive. They'll make 6 parts per episode. The show is about 60 episodes, which means there's 360 parts. There's 360 opportunity to market your things. Very aggressive. And again, you're seeing it every 6 minutes. Why do we care? Well, because on TikTok you'll have ads. So I'm watching an ad and then I'm watching other ads. You know, so it's a lot. What they're doing is they're reacting to it. And it's really popular. There's this other girl, and again, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but she has this. It's very basic as a channel. It's makeup and it's book talk. So she makes the makeup. She does a lot of get ready with me videos, and she does a lot of here to see that I like, which technically speaking is a really good content. She didn't get a lot of views. Nobody cared. She still has a following, which is good, but so what happened was she has a husband, and her husband is actually really talented for screamo music. He's gonna take a coverage of, for example, Lorna Shore, Bad Omen. I'll do some Kesha screamo cover, and what happened was she had the idea to film her husband. You don't see him; you see him in the shower, and you hear him, and he has a really good voice, really talented. People, huge videos, huge content creator. For example, the TikTok official channel commented on this video. And then what he did was it's kind of crazy when you think about it. She filmed him, and that video went viral. So now what she does is she only films her husband. Those videos gets a lot of views, right? And ultimately speaking, views are good. So for example, right, I did a reaction lately, which got copyrighted, and I did it as I left it as a fundraiser, and as a fundraiser, what they'll do is they won't, because the money is not going to use, so they won't copyright it. They won't take the money out of it. Because I did a fundraiser, it was a good thing. Now the reason why we did that is because if I leave the video on, it'll bring views to the channel. When you visit the channel, people will stay and watch a couple more videos. Chances are they'll leave, chances are they'll stay, right? So the girl filming her husband voice is good, but now the problem that she has is that nobody gives a shit about her content. So either she's filming the husband and she's getting 100,000 views, or she's filming herself and she's getting 10,000 views and 15,000 views. The mosquito got me. It got me really good. And I'm not gonna show you my ass, but check my ass. There was dozen of mosquito bites. It's a shame. So for Mr. Beast, if you know what you're doing, you can make a whole career out of it, which is basically you can teach a man to fish. You can give a man a fish, it'll be hungry tomorrow. You can teach a man to fish and it'll never go hungry again. So you're kind of able to spend a shit ton of time in a career. Then ultimately speaking, everything has an end, which is really cool. Look at this. You used to have the sun, now it's the moon, the clouds. It's a really good thing. It's a really, really good thing. It's a really good thing because of making a career, but you still owe. And then we were talking about how so this is a side tangent. This is ADHD to the max. But at the same time, you know, did you need? Is it a problem if your fame comes from somebody else? I was watching this guy, Nick Giovanni, and super entertaining, super interesting. However, he had a way in, and that way in was MasterChef. The whole following that he had started on MasterChef. And when you look at his season, he's not even the most popular. He's not even the most entertaining, right? He's pretty in the back. But he made touchy. Then he had more screen time. With Mr. Beast, a lot of people cancel Mr. Beast for the whole Ava Tyson thing. So Ava Tyson was usually Chris Tyson. They're trans, and then they did a lot of fucked up things. We're talking about paying artists for lolly porn. So lolly porn are hentai, which is cartoon porn or animated porn, and lollies are adults that look very kiddish. So for example, a small woman with no tits, right? and it looks like a kid. So I have actually asked a lot of that, which is very troubling behavior. And then out of it, Mr. Beast lost a lot of his followers. There was almost a mass unfollowing. Did he do something wrong? Well, he was aware of it. He was aware of that Ava was also talking to minor. He was aware of it. Because he was aware of it and didn't stop it and chose to include Ava in the video was kind of a conflict by it. Did he do something wrong? No. Did he allow somebody on his team to do something wrong? Yes. Right? And that's bad. They got canceled, but from my opinion, I think a lot of people wanted to cancel Mr. Beast, didn't have a reason. So finally, their chance to strike. And because they had a chance to strike, they decided to strike. This is our time, we're going to cancel him. And because we're going to cancel him, all of his hard work, it's tough because Mr. Beast really changed the face of content creation. His thumbnail became the new norm of thumbnail. A lot of people followed this video. A lot of people copied this video. You know, and it's bad. It's bad because it's bad because how can I say this? It's bad because you kind of made a recipe for success. Now, the recipe for success equal, well, guess what? As long as I do the same thing as he did, I'll be successful. Wait a second, where's my video? There's 30 gigs. Love the death for peace of mind. Church is fun. It wasn't hard to realize. Love the death for peace of mind. I know where it is. Or in the trash. It's not deleted, but it's in the trash. Nice. And we just freed up 50 gigs of data, which is about 4 hours and a half. I'll go to my father's house, so that's gonna be a good time. Love the death of peace of mind. I made another mistakes. Thought I could take, thought I could save it now. Don't mean a thing I ever cared about. I miss the way you say my name, the way you touch, the way you break. Peace of mind. I love peace of mind, Battleman. So what was I saying? Yeah, so Mr. Beast, all of his videos were super successful. So he kind of created a recipe for success. As long as you follow certain steps, your video will be popular, right? Now, of course, we talked about supply and demand. People started copying a lot of what he did, Mr. Beast. Because they started copying Mr. Beast, there was now more supply than demand. Because there was more supply than demand, the quality of the supplies, or the price, or the value of the supply went lower. I'm playing a game called Gundam. Gundam, there's 26 series, and I'm like, some of them are not great. Well, there's 26 of them, so even if 5 of them are good, I'm still fucking happy because it's 13th season of things that I love. Because a lot of people follow him or follow his teaching, by the way, copied. The quality, the value of the supply lowered. Well, this video that he did, this content that he did, I didn't like it, so I'm gonna go watch somebody that does something very similar to him. And because they're doing something very similar to him, I'm gonna just copy. For example, we have FaZe Rugs. FaZe Rug, who had a fucking whole ass career before that. Then he started doing the same thing. One of the videos that he did was really cool. Did a video that was really cool that I have to applaud, and it was TikTok. So it took 2 random nobody, and I'm sorry to say that, but that was the plot of the video. They're possibly amazing people, and FaZe Rug came out with a video where he took both of these people. It was him and a friend. Him and a friend, they coach people to do TikTok. The goal was they had one whole day. Now, in the one whole day, what they did was they created a TikTok account and they grew the channel. They really grew the channel. So, for example, in one day, a person got 100K followers, right? So you create a career, and this is how hazy it is. Of course, you have to use somebody else, but still. Um, Now the problem is keeping those followers, but that's another story. And you created content, you create a career out of nothing, you know. So by doing this, supply and demand, it was just bad because people follow the recipe for success, and you should be able to follow a recipe for success. If I told you exactly how you would die, you would avoid it, right? You would avoid it. You would absolutely avoid it. But you didn't do it. And because people follow the same recipe, it kind of killed creativity. Creativity would be like, hey, I got this concept. And nowadays it's very leechy on the leechy, Lees, L, L, it's a big L. Leechy, which is leech, or leech life if you're a fan of Pokemon. So if one of your video goes viral, people are gonna copy you, which is kind of sad. But hey, there's a lot of mouths to feed on YouTube. There's a lot of mouths to feed on TikTok. There's a lot of mouths to feed on Twitch, and there's a lot of mouths to feed on Snapchat. I'm forgetting something? Instagram. I'm forgetting something? Pornhub. OnlyFans. A lot of mouths to feed. You know? People say, oh, there's a lot of content creator back right now compared to back then. Well, back then it wasn't a job. And then something that happened was beautiful was people were retiring, and big names were like, we're retiring, which is the passing of the torch, which I really enjoy. Because first of all, it gives some credibility to platforms. Second of all, it's a really good way to promote your shit, i.e., 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 I don't know. I don't know. Content creator came out of the against Mr. Beast. They're like, oh man, he really changed for the worst. The also problem with companies like YouTube and Twitch, especially Twitch, they have favoritism. They'll treat some content creator better than others. Susan was the ex-CEO of YouTube, had literal relation with YouTubers. And she was promoting them. And those people, when they had a problem, they would come to her, say, hey, I got this content, there's this guy, Adam22. And people would go to Adam, talk to Susan, and she would take out copyrights. Now there's a new guy, and I don't hear much about him. Susan was pretty popular too. Controversial but popular. Controversial because she played favoritism, but popular because she really cared. This new guy, I don't know if she cares enough. And see, there's again supply and demand. Susan cared too much, so the guy, by not caring as much, possibly care in normal amounts, but by comparison, it's fell. I think that's why people are mad-ish to this effect. Anyway, that's enough for today. I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. I never cared about it. Stop sharing your life, dude. It's so shitty to do. It's so shitty. Stop sharing your life. Such a shitty thing to do. I don't promote my life, so why are you promoting yours? I made another mistake. Thought I could take, thought I could take it now. Don't hear a thing I never cared about. I miss the way you say my name, the way you bend, the way you shake. Like makeup running down your face, the way you touch, the way you take. Do 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 do. Love's a death, a peace of mind. Curtain calls the time. Will behold the man alive. It wasn't hard to realize. Love's a death, a peace of mind. Choo 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 Love's a death, a peace of mind. Don't blink, it's your buying. Welcome to the show. I hope you're having a wonderful day. On this, drumroll please, 3rd July 2025. It is the early morning, but we're doing good. We are running on two main components, three main components, four main components. The first components were crazy. That helps. The components we're having drinks and chocolatey macaroons, which are delicious. Third, I'm already up, so I go to sleep. And lastly, motivation. Today we're doing a video for the gaming channel. You're right, we're doing a Gundam series. So right now we're kind of busy because like a whole party right here. I don't know where it is. I do not know where it is. So I'm looking for the Gundam because we're doing Gundam. We're doing a review. We just finished the second series. So technically speaking, the second series. On paper, not the second series at all. Gundam. I'm gonna go on Wikipedia. So we did the first series, which is Gundam 1969. We did Gundam. There you go. That's it. Love's a death, a peace of mind. I have this in my head. We did The Seed, which was good, and now we're doing the second series in chronological order, which was much better. My opinion on the series, actually quite simple. First series was with Amuro Ray, who was a guy. So Amuro Ray, this is it. It's a mobile suit Zeta Gundam. Now we're doing ZZ Zeta Gundam, which is, let me make sure. Camille Bidan, yes sir. So to me, the second season was much better. The first season is about a guy called Amuro Ray. Amuro Ray ends up being a new type, which is a really rare type of people that are just naturally talented. They're stronger, they're smarter. It's funny because in the timeline, there's a shift of timeline. So at the shift of timeline, after the first show, the first series, there is Gundam Seeds. So Gundam Seeds are about coordinator, which are man-made enhanced human being. So you're creating like kind of like a new type, but it's the way better because you're creating them. So with Amuro Ray was a guy who was the guy that was supposed to save the world. He just didn't want to because he was a kid and he wasn't a fighter, and he killed people and he felt bad about it, right? Now with Kamei Bidan, it's much better because you're trading in the whiny kid that was Amuro Ray for a kid that has both of his parents killed. Both of his parents were killed. You still have teens. There's still some love story, which I like. The first one, it wasn't a love story. Second one, yes. Four, I think it's something four. In the second series, Camille is a much better character. He is a victim of dictatorship. Dictatorship are from the Titans. Titans are kind of like similar to the Zeon, which we saw in the first series. If parents are killed, most of his friends are either slave to the system or they're being exploited, right? So Kami has every single reason to be going against. Amuro was a guy that didn't have a choice. Kami is a guy that make a choice. So right away, I like Kami way better. Also, the cool thing with Kami is that how can I say this? That he knows who to follow. For example, Amuro Ray followed a couple people. He followed a couple people because they were somewhat of a superior, right? It's a very army type stuff. So you have private, caporal, general. I don't fucking know. Admiral. With Camille, he's following people because they have leadership capability. So he follows a guy, and that guy is Quattro, and Quattro ends up being Char Aznable from the first series. So if Char Aznable, not only is he super talented, but he is also a new type. Not only is he a new type, but he's very, very charismatic. If you want to follow someone, you can follow him. You know that if you follow him, you'll be good. First of all. Second of all, there's people like Boa. So although the second series feels a little bit more complete with characters, the second series is we have this character that we like and we want more. In the third season, which we're doing right now, which is I don't even know the name. We're having an overdose of Gundam, by the way. Because I did 3 series in like 2 weeks. What's the next one? Zeta is also really good. Zeta by principle is also really good. Really fucking good. Gundam. Why is this actually so good? Well, because in the first one, it was all a question about the Gundam. The piloting. Amuro Ray piloted the Gundam MK2, one of the strongest Gundam in existence. So he didn't even need to be strong. All he had to do was to follow, to use his Gundam. With Zeta, they start creating Gundam that are piloted by new type. So, for example, they're specific to new type. For example, there's 2 new type, which is 4, which is the love interest of Camille and Camille. And since they're both new type, their Gundam is responsive to who they are. So it's the quality of the driver, the quality of the machine. Gundam ZZ. Gundam ZZ is something I don't like because you're seeing Bo again, and it's just boring. So, Camille it's a big negative. Camille as the protagonist is exactly what you want. He is more than what you want. He's a kid that got abused. He's a kid that got that was a victim of the system, and he just decided to step back. And the next one, it's a kid who, after years and years of wars, everybody's poor. So what he does is he covers some scrap metal, and then the military, they offer him a stable life, like, hey, come and work for us, we'll pay you. Like, okay. So you're not justified. You're going for the money, which is a weird choice. But hey, am I in charge of everything? No. So I'm not gonna say anything. Okay. Next we have Mobile Zeta Gundam. We're gonna be reading the normal one. We're gonna be reading the plot. I think I'm gonna be reading production. No. I'm gonna be reading the soundtrack. No. National release, related media. No. Manga, compilation film. No. Game. No. Reception. Okay. We're gonna be reading critical response. And that's it. We're gonna be reading 3 out of 7. We're gonna start with the rest. This is Wikipedia, so if you don't want me to hear me let's talk, you can just read it. Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam is a 1985 Japanese television anime series, so already 6 years after the first one. It's an installment in the Gundam franchise, a sequel to the original Mobile Suit Gundam. The show was created by and directed by Yoshiyuki Tomino, The character designed by Yoshikazu Yasuhiko, while the serial mechanical design was split amongst Kunio Mamoru Kazumi. The series was originally aired on Nagoya Broadcasting Network and its sister A&M. Between 85 and 86, the plot is set in a futuristic universal century timeline. It takes place 8 years after the event of the original series. Then is centered around a new conflict that is formed between two new factions. The Titans, a corrupt task force formed by the Earth Federation, and the Anti-Earth Union Group, a rebel group that seek the end of Titans. That show is told through the perspective of Kami Bidan, which is the guy I like, a teenage member of the Aogi and a pilot of the RX-178 Gundam. And then the Zeta Gundam. Several main characters from the previous Gundam series return in supporting roles. Amuro Ray. And this one I like Amuro Ray. Amuro Ray is like, yo, I've did enough. And then he joins the war at the very end, but he dies. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool because it is a passing of power. I was the main character, now come in, you can take my place. And his rival, Char Azabo, the leader of which returned as a pilot of the Aogi under the new identity of Quattro Vegina. Char is a very important character in the Zeta Gundam. The reason why he's so important is because you'll like him as in the first one. Char is a villain, but he's also a dude that had a reason to be a villain. He's a man-made villain. They just came in, they stole his father's legacy, and they kidnapped his sister. Well, they didn't kidnap his sister, but still. And then Char serves under the Zabi family, which are the bad guys, but he serves under them to sabotage them. And the fun fact is, even though Char is a bad guy, he ends up killing more bad guys than the main character, which is Amuro Ray. Crazy, right? Often regarded as one of the best shows in the franchise, Series for its dark team character and improvement over its predecessor. Between 2005 and 2006, the series was produced and compiled into a film trilogy. Momosu Zeta Gundam, new translation, this is exactly what I'm watching. It was still directed by Torino and involved many changes to the original storyline. The film was considered a success in Japan. Plot. Okay. The series follows a rebel group of Anti-Earth Union Group as they try to defeat the Titan, and he leads task force of the Earth Federation designed to hunt down Zeon remnants, which is ruthlessly killing one demanding equal rights for the space citizen in cold blood. So this is kind of the okay. This is kind of important. In the first series, we had the Zeon, and the Zeon were people that were driving off to space. They were Earthlings that were driven off from Earth and like, yo, let's live in space. So at first, the Zeon kind of used that to their advantage. Like, holy shit, we get to dictate who lives on Earth and who lives in space. So then, what ended up happening is, they were justified. Now, after that, they were like, well, new types are the next power. New types are amazing. Fuck everybody else. Only new type will survive. So they started with Noble. See, I was talking about Char. Char's father was originally the one that was responsible, and he only wanted equal rights. Then the Zeon was like, fuck you, we're gonna take over. Which is a beautiful thing because the Zeon were the bad. Okay. I'm gonna be saying something that is kind of crazy. In Germany, we had the Second World War with the Reich and shit like that, right? And then people were mad at Germany as a whole when some people didn't do shit, right? This is what's going on with Zeon. This is exactly what's going on. It is 1985, so it's after that, so it could be inspired by that. The story of the Gundam is told through the viewpoint of Kami Bidan, a civilian teenager and amateur mobile pilot. Parents are engineer working for the Earth Federation. Titan. While traveling the Green Nova colony to meet his parents, Maze is insulted by and Shaka Titan of surname Jared Massa. The cool thing with Jared is he's an asshole all in all. And Jared is actually a really well-made character. Jared is an asshole, he's a bully. But then every single time that he's fighting Camille, he keeps on getting defeated. So then, by getting defeated, he becomes justified. Is justification or vengeance? Is he an asshole? Yes. Is he more than just an asshole? Absolutely. You see this guy, Camille, who's supposed to be weaker. This guy literally has like military training, and is being defeated by a kid. Now the reality is, first of all, Camille has a better Gundam. Second of all, Camille is also a new type, so the new types are again stronger than normal human being. So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean. It's tough because at the same time, he's kind of justified to be mad at Camille. It's like, yo, you're kind of cheating, right? And Camille is mad at him because you're a bully. Even if I'm cheating, you don't deserve to win. Following an Ayug attack led by Quattro Vagina, which is Char Aznavour, on the colony to capture a trio of Gundam MK mobile suits undergoing field tests. This is the problem. You have mobile suits. Earth has the advantage because Earth has nuclear plants. Nuclear plants are the only thing to power up mobile suit. Titans order under the order of Bascom, the Camille pirates an attempt to force a return of the stolen Gundam MK2. So basically a hostage situation. Jared, unaware of the hostage plot, mystically kills Camille's mother. Because of this and many other reasons, Camille eventually joined the Ayuk. See, that's what I was saying. He's a kind of like a good guy. So then there's a very cool scene in the game. It's a very, very cool scene. And it's kind of hard to understand. So at first, Camille, they take in hostage with his mom. And they're such an asshole. What they do is they release in space a capsule. The capsule that has Camille's mom. She's in the middle of a she's in the middle of a what should we call it? She's in the middle of the battlefield. Jared decided to kill the hostage to end the war. Okay, we're losing these battles. We'll kill the hostage. That way, you don't have a reason to fight anymore. And then Camille, he's like, "You killed my mom." And then the first reaction of Jared is like, "Your mom?" He didn't know. So again, he did something horrible, but he didn't have the intention. And if he knew, now there could be a case made for if he knew that it was Camille's mom, would he have killed the mom? The answer is I don't know, and I don't think you can know. So very good plot, very very good plot. As the war escalates, Camille encounters people from all sides of the conflict, including brainwashed Titan, artificial new type, and the leader of the Anaheim Electronics, who were secretly founding the AUG. The AUG eventually launched a full-scale attack on Earth Federation Assembly at Dakar, the Earth's fierce civil war. Control revealed himself to be Char Aznavour and present into the Titan tyranny, including using G3 nerve gas on defenseless colony. Yeah, Titans are assholes. The Earth Federation court soon ruled the Titan actually to be illegal and back to you. Now the Titan leader, Jan Mitov Imam. What is kind of cool here is, like, the Titans are a group that is almost political, and you can't kill a group because of their political belief. By proving that they're assholes, you can actually make the case of the bad guy. We should kill them. Axis and Gentile attestation of Jupiter Fleet Commander Optimus Sirocco. The Optimus Sirocco is one of the worst characters. He is one of the worst characters. So he always has this feeling of not being enough. He always has those self-doubt and those insecurities, and because he feels the need to be like a dictator. So it's kind of like a Napoleon. I don't know English. So Napoleon was a general in the war, and he was considered very small, and because of that, he was very angry all the time, and because of that, he was deemed to be unfit. So he always felt the need to prove himself. This is what's going on with Sirocco. And the most of Titan Fleet, as the Giant Act will unleash a mental attack upon Camille, the latter mentally unstable with sign of memory lapse and insanity. Again, this is the problem with Gundam. They're pushing forward the idea that Camille is one of their only, and is one of their only, like, good soldier. Like, for example, there's a couple of characters that are really good. Like, Char Aznavour is really good, Boa is really good, and Camille is really good. Take away Camille, there's not enough. So you conclude with both the AUG and the Earth Federation suffering considerable loss over the course of war, facing the full force of Axis Zeon, leading into Mobile Suit Gundam ZZ. There's not even a good ending for that. Now we're gonna move on to the reception. Critical reception. Absolute Gundam is played by a fan of the Secretary, uh, Universal Century sector of the franchise. I got so many. This mosquito mark, that's crazy. Um, with many lauding it for his bleak tone, character movement, and his complicated efficient of war. In the series, the director, as I said, not liking the show. I love the show. The review website manga gave the anime an overall B plus rating it as one of Yoshiko's greatest work. They stated that with the lack of an A plus, that is recommended for fans who are really familiar with the Universal Century storyline. Yeah, because if you don't know who's Char, you don't give a fuck. If you don't know the action of Zeon, they don't really explain it. They don't really explain what they did and how bad they were. Even then, when they present Amuro Ray as his pilot, and you're supposed to say, okay, well, is he a good one? And you don't even know, they don't even tell you that he's a main character of the first one. Now, if you played it, you don't need to know. Now, the cool thing with the game is you need to be the first series to join the second. So with the series, you wouldn't have a choice but to learn that is the main characters. You don't have a choice because you just played it as Amuro Ray, which makes sense. But watching the show might be a different thing. My apologies. Yeah, I view the original film trilogy. Original film trilogy is they took the first series and put it into 3 films. First before watching Zeta Gundam, reviewer Chris Beveridge of Maniac.com gave the volume of the series a full A rating. Last episode as being the huge payoff episode, where you can almost feel the character being rushed around a bit and moved through the pace. But at the same time, it all comes so fast that it's simply enjoyable to watch so much happen and change so quickly. Beveridge would later review the Blu-ray release of the series of the Phantom Pose, giving both of series plus the A- rating. Beveridge writing in the review that for the first set, I believe that it's been almost 10 years that I saw the series, and that's just how much anime you consume. But it also makes you realize which ones truly stand out over the course of time. This one is definitely one of them. Beveridge found the second half of the series weaker, to still claim that the show is its most thing right. While reviewing, so this is actually quite simple to understand why. Look at this. There was the sun. This is the sunrise. It's definitely weaker. It's nice. We've been filming for an hour 13. At first, it's really, Camille is really like mad because you killed my parents and you've been treating me like shit for years. Even then, like he attacks the guy who bullied him. He's not the first bully. He was just the last bully. At the end, I thought about that. It's like, okay, well, this is our political versus their political. And in that case, why it's not great, it's simply because we saw this already. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot, huh? Oh well. While reviewing the Blu-ray Early Barter of Forbes gave the show a rare review, revealing as possibly the greatest Gundam series ever made. Barter praised the series' more realistic approach to war and striking design to many different robots. To define the transformation make out of place that have more grounded reality. Learn Arshini of Anime News Network. The series and a review of the first Blu-ray release, made up for the first set a B. Praising it for its powerful storytelling. It was more critical of the second half of the series, finding the plot too chaotic, holding goddamn awkward coming of age. But Oshii still praised the second half for its mecha design, having emotional payoff. It's really giving the subtitle version a B. I mean, when you understand that the Zeta is directly, the awkward thing is 4. That's super easy to guess. 4 is the main. Okay, 4 is the main love interest of Camille. Because 4 is the main love interest of Camille, what happened is 4 comes in and she's like, yo, Camille's like, why are you helping them? They're a piece of shit. And 4, which is a artificially made Swiss complex, she's artificially made new type, which means that she was biologically engineered, and build that she doesn't have memories of her own. So then the Titans are like, yo, help us out, And when we decide that you've done enough, we'll actually tell you about your story. So she's filing and because they promised her something, even if they can't. So then Camille, which is a teenager in love, is like, okay, well, guess what? I'm not gonna fight you, and as long as I know that you're one of the Titans, I'm not gonna fight the Titans. And it's very weak because I understand he's in love, but I see them, those people were dictators, those people killed your parents. So all of this rage kind of disappear with love. And you're just like, okay, well, we like you because you were so vindictive. We like you because you were so justified to do what you did. And now you're telling us that you kind of regret what you did. So, not regret, but you know what I mean. Um, Comic book resources listed mobiles with Zelda as the best Gundam anime since their 2020 in their 2020 list, and the series was later ranked as highest rated Gundam show on IMDb. But Blessing Brand, one of the best, biggest distributor of Gunpla model kits, by Japanese toy in the East, as Zeta Gundam, the top show watching the franchise. Zeta is actually way cooler. I have a new Gundam, and it's tree form, and it's just beautiful. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. There's nothing else. Yeah, that's it. So, Mobile Zeta in the books. Next, we will do people stealing shopping carts. It's just shameful. Just shameful. Next, we'll do Gundam ZZ. And I thought I'm gonna take a break because I'm watching a lot of Gundam and it's repetitive. So, what I think I'm gonna do is actually quite smart. Either I'm taking a break or I'm playing one of the side story, or yeah, side story, because you see, it really felt different. So maybe I'm tired of seeing. I don't know. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay. Mhm. Mm. What? Wait, what? Don't. Oh shit. Am I recording or not? No. Okay. Pop-up views. No. Dome link it's your Blink. Welcome to the Computer Show. I'm doing well, having a wonderful day on this Thursday, 2025. Today we are starting our Squid Game recap review. So we started watching the third series because it just released, but because people are spoiling it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recap the first and review the first series that I watched a couple of times. Right now we're watching second season. I'm going to be watching the second season. When I'm done, I'm going to be able to do a recap. So you're going to see me looking down a lot. I'm looking at the computer. So the reality is I saw the first season 3 times. I didn't really watch it. And then, even then, I'm not going to have enough knowledge of the second season to really like do a proper recap. So what I do is I like to go on my computer, look at the show, look at it scene by scene, and then looking at it scene by scene, you really are able to do a nice storytelling. So we're gonna do season 1, the one. Today I would love to do season 1. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna give myself a little bit more than 40 minutes. Why? Because 40 minutes for a video is actually very long, and I got shit to do today. So season 1, episode 1, 1, 2, 3. Soleil, which is sunshine or sun in English. The show starts very simply with a with a storytelling. Oh, by the way, since I've watched the show so often and I know the show so well, let me spoiler. So the first thing that we see is very, very old school games. Now it's in black and gray, black and white, which is really cool. Why? The black and white kind of symbolize old age, and when you know who was behind the whole Squid Game, you kind of see that was him. That was him behind everything, which is really cool. We see our main character, which I don't even. I'm not gonna pronounce the name because I have I don't have a good memory. Jin Hoon. Okay. Jin Hoon. And what is really cool about season 1, episode 1 is we really captured the asshole aspect of it. He's a guy that owes money. He's a guy that is kind of like a shitty father. He tries to be a good father, but he kind of is a shitty father. Now, I want to specify something that I find very, very, very important. When I say that he is a shitty father, I don't mean as a shitty father. I mean, so you can try to be the best person without being a good person. He's trying to be a good father. He's trying, but he's not able to. And because he's not able to, he ends up being a bad parent. And using his mom. The cool thing is, because I saw season 2, we see him betting on the races, right? Give me a sec. Yeah, he's betting on the horses race. And the funniest thing is, you see this guy right here, and his best friend. That's the main character, by the way. His best friend is in the second season as a member of the Squid Game. Okay, before we start, I should have done this before. I'm sorry. Squid Games are what? Squid Games are taking a bunch of people that have financial needs and saying, you know what, win the game, we'll give you money. Now, that's what they tell you. What they don't tell you is everybody else will die. Everybody else will die. So yes, you can win the whole Shazam, but everybody else will die. This is kind of important to know. Why? Because would you do it if you know that you had a chance to die? No. So he's betting and then he loses. By the way, we're seeing that he has problems, so they follow him. I don't remember if you get the importance. Then because he has no money. And the craziest thing is, it's a really shitty thing that he did. His mom, she gave him money. This, you see, I'm still able to do a good retelling of the story, even if I'm not looking at it. His mom gave him money, and the money was for his daughter, or her granddaughter birthday. He took the money and went to the horses race. And then he was able to get fried chicken and able to get a small gift, which is not really cool, but the daughter is actually a good character. Now, technically speaking, we're going to see the event start of Squid Game. So you meet this guy, and this guy is absolutely important. He is called the salesman. So this guy, the salesman, is, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spoil it for reals. I'm gonna really spoil it. One of the best is arguably okay. So I don't, I haven't heard a lot about season three. I know how it ends sadly, but I haven't heard a lot. So in second season, there's a lot of characters that we like. There's Thanos. Thanos is a K-pop idol, super cool. There's Salesman. Salesman is easily the best person in Squid Games. Who is this salesman? The salesman is gonna take people that have financial needs and they play a game. And this is actually a really cool game. He says, I don't know what the name of the game is, I don't know. But you play a game. If you win, 10,000 yen, which is about $100. If you lose, I slap you in the face. I slap you. And I slap you hard. So the reason why he's doing that, the reason is how far are you willing to go for money? Are you willing to let me inflict pain upon you multiple times? And if the people says yes, you're gonna give them a card. And that card is gonna be the access to the Squid Game, which is their show. So you see the main character is like, yo, let's play. So I'm gonna slap. And the main character is kind of an asshole. Again, it's really cool because we established John Hee as such an asshole. And sorry guys. And the fact that we made him as an asshole is kind of important. Because when he's in a Squid Game, when you realize people will die, you can kind of feel bad for him. However, you're like, okay, well, he deserves it. He fucking deserves it. He's an asshole. Now, let's go back to the salesman. Why is this salesman so good? He is an incredible actor. He has a face deformity, which he can do a whole half of his face smiling and a whole half of his face serious. And he's really the character. Super charismatic, super good. I'm gonna talk about this season 2 a little bit. I know this is nothing to do, but this is just showing how much I love the salesperson, the salesman. Now, I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm gonna do this for the first season, and do this for the second season. So what we're saying right now, I'm gonna repeat it. So what he does is, and that's actually really cool. This was a social experiment in itself, and this is something that I need to talk about. So in the second season, he buys a lot of so it's a bread bun. So the bread bun are super popular in their country. Super popular is what it is. It's a bread with bean paste in it. It's a bit sweet, and those are super popular. But also there's a meal. What he does is he goes to homeless people, and they give them two choices. Either you take the bun or you take a lottery ticket. And most people take the lottery tickets. The craziest thing that he does, he gives them a coin to scratch the ticket and then give me the coin back. And then at the end, he screams, "You pieces of shit, you are responsible for what you did. I'm not the bad guy here, you made your own choice." And then he takes all of the bread and he steps on it and he destroys it. Why? Because most homeless people chose the lottery tickets. Why is that important? Why is that a social experiment? Yeah, the social experiment is indeed when you're in trouble, when you're in financial ruin, are you willing to go more hungry or you're willing to go a sinner? And that's what he does. Now, we have in season 2, we have his story. What he did was he was hired as a Squid Game person, and he kind of despised people. And then he was doing the Squid Game. So the Squid Games, the problem is, I don't know how long it's been. Has it been 10 years, 20 years that they exist? The show starts where our main character, Jin Han, follows or joins the Squid Game. It doesn't start there. It doesn't start. And he saw his father as a member. That's my dad. That's my fucking dad. And then instead of feeling bad for his dad, it's like he put himself there. You know? But this is just as important to showcase how the salesman thinks. So we have the whole series. We see a couple of slaps, which ends up by the main character joining the Squid Game. This is also super important because we have a person, we realize that his mom is sick.
You didn't steal anything, Mom. I earned it all. The warrants, okay? All day I worked my hands and face off to earn this money for us. Come on.
You see his mom. This is really cool. This is really cool. So his mom, she's behind him, but she's very sick. Look at this. So he just told her that he worked for it, and she looked at him with disgust because she knows it didn't work. So then there's this person that takes care of them, and the person has a fish shop, which is kind of important later on. He goes back in, and what I like here is we're season 1, episode 1, halfway through the show, and this is the Squid Game. So you see, these are the uniform. There's 456 numbers. The 456 numbers is actually quite important. Jin Hoon, which is this guy, Jin Hoon was the last member to join. So with him joining, and this specific scene is fucking important. It's so fucking important. You can find a more important scene. Jin Hoon being the last guy, they always had 456. I don't know why. They always have. So the old man that you saw in the picture had the 001, which means that he's the first player to join. And the fact that you get both of them in the same scene is kind of cool. So he's like, okay, what is it? And then the old man tells him, hey, there's games here. There's games. We're going to be playing it. And it's just introduction. So where are we? We're in the Squid Games. The next scene is also super important. We got these characters. This is a gangster. He's the main villain of the show. So why is he the main villain? Because he's strong. So technically speaking, you can, the money goes to the last one standing. So he starts killing people. Like, there's less competition. This girl, she's super chill. She's a fan favorite. So what she does is, they're all financial doubt, ruins. Some of them is gambling, like our main character. Her, what she did was, she has a younger brother or sister, I don't remember. But her parents, they illegally immigrated. So they crossed the border, and it costs money. So then what they do is, they ask for the parents, and like, the guy is like an asshole, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna make your parents come in, but I need more money. And every time that she goes, where are my parents? Like, oh, I need more money. So he really, what should we call it? He's really fighting. And she ends up being in debt, so he is. Now, this is cool, because for the first time, the main character comes in and says, yo, leave her alone. And it's not heroic. You think it's heroic, but it's not heroic. It's just a case of, well, that's an asshole thing to do. They get him to stop. Now, him showing up is important because you see one of his childhood friend, and his childhood friend is actually super important. So you guys remember the woman with the fish shop who took care of him? Well, her son is supposed to be this great guy. Is supposed to be this guy who has a fortune, and he's supposed to be this guy who really made it. Is really successful. Now, why is that important? Because he in the Squid Game, he did a bankruptcy. He had problem. Now, why is that a good thing? Because it showcases that everybody can be part of the Squid Game. Everybody can be a victim. You never know, and it just goes to show parts of life. Like, for example, in the second series, what I just said, it goes to a park where there's a lot of homeless people. Now, these are not homeless people. These are people that has family, that have homes. They're in debt because they didn't make some smart choices, and because they put themselves here, you're aware of everything that happens. Like, we see this more in season 2. So in season 2, you literally have K-pop artists, and you have a guy that was like a mogul. This is actually pretty funny, he had a YouTube channel that said where to invest your money. And then some of his friends, what they did was, they did pump and dump, which they said, hey, this action is going to be really good. And it was really good. And then what he did was, he got involved. He said, promote this action, we'll give you cash. Then this all tanked, the whole thing tanked, and he didn't give him the cash, so he became broke and became hated. Actually, super nice. Now we got a Squid Game. They're saying, hey, welcome. You're gonna have this. He's gonna have this battle. They're gonna tell you what it is. The cool thing is, they show everybody, and it says how much depth they have. And the funniest thing is, all of this money, the prize money. So, for example, if everybody together, if the 456 players have a debt of 10 billion yen, then the prize money is 10 billion yen. So I thought it was really interesting. We have this guy, this guy with the glasses. I'm gonna show you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. No. 3, 2, 1, 0. There you go. This guy. This guy. And the storytelling here is actually quite amazing. I'm sorry, I'm not that great with timing. Okay, so you have a guy. I'm not gonna. It's too small. The storytelling here is actually quite amazing because you show 3 characters in a row, and the 3 characters in a row are gonna be the friends of the main character. So they sign in consent form. They'll be like, "Yo, you'll die." It's kind of funny because we have all the beds. The beds are always gonna play such an important part. We have the castle. Now, the cool thing with the castle is they're taking a place. This is so fucking funny. This is so fucking funny. They take pictures of players. And that's what they're happy. Look at the guy with the blonde hair. Look at him. Like, he doesn't take it seriously. Even though they're gonna die. Which is quite nice. And this is the main characters. Ji-hoon. Now, this picture is super important. Super important. Because this is season 1. And season 2 is gonna have to do the same thing. And it's the same picture. The exact same picture, but he's not smiling. So this is the mental state of people. Which is kind of important. We're going in the first war. We have our first game, which is green light, red lights. Okay, you see him well here. This is Mr. Hero. The hero of the village, the one that was the most popular, the most successful. You know, but he didn't make it. So green light and red light is actually quite phenomenal. So it's kind of crazy when you think about it. So there's this statue that has glasses, right? And what we'll do, I'll tell you green light. When it's green light, you can move forward. When it's red light, you have to stop. You cannot stop moving. You can't move. So then, when you move, they kill you. Here is one of the most important characters. This is the frontman. So, with the Squid Game, there's a hierarchy. There's this, the spawn, the spawns. So what they do is they do. I think I have a massive Squid Game. Give me a sec. I had a mask, I possibly give it to someone. There's a hierarchy, so the hierarchy goes as follows. There's the grunt who are making the game and killing people. There's the frontman who is in charge of everything. And then there's the VIP, who are people that pay for the show. They enjoy themselves. And it's crazy because they're masked, they're hidden. Actually really cool. After they do the part, now of course there's some people that are getting killed. Because they're getting killed, you realize how important this is. And we realize the rules. We have one of the most important characters again. Where is he? I know it's close by. You see the main characters, you see the important people that we care about. And you see the assholes. There'll be somebody that's one of the favorite, which is Ali. So Ali, what he does is one of the favorite characters. There you go. There you go. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. He holds him. You basically save the life. You save the life of the main character. Because he's about to fall, and if you fall, that's considered moving. So he holds him, and he saves his life. Now, Ali, why is he so popular? Is because he's a foreigner. So Ali brings him the teaching of Hinduism, which is kind of important because he's the most religious person in the thing. We're seeing episode 2, how what they're doing is you see that they're cremating the body. Cremating the body, you see here, cremating the body. Is it important? Not really. It's just to show how little they care about the people. We got Squid Game episode 2, got our first night, and how much people died. So then, this is a really important scene. Okay, you find it? Okay, you got 456. This is one of the most important scenes. 456. And you're gonna see the thing lowering a lot. 456 to what? 201 player. So more than half left. And then everybody's like, yo, you killed me. Now, this is a very, very important scene. And I hope this doesn't sound racist. But you see all of them on their knees begging. And it just shows how submissive they are and how, they decide to be part of the game. Now, of course, this is kind of the craziest thing. They made a choice. Did they make the choice? Yes. They made the choice. They made the choice to be part of the game. That's on them. That's number one. But number two is if one of them read the consent form, he's like, yo, we can kill you, right? It doesn't say we can kill you, but it says you surrender your life to us. And then when they see that people die, they on their knees and they're begging oh, please stop, please stop, please stop. And then they're like, yo, you made that choice. You made the choice to be in the game. You made that choice. Why are you complaining now? We saved you. At the very first episode, one of the most important scenes of the episode is they're showing everybody how much debt there is. Some of them have millions, some of them have billions yen. They're really in trouble. They're really, really, really in trouble. They're next to being in the streets, right? And they chose to do that. So then when they surrender, oh, please save us. Why are you begging now? You knew what you were getting into, you know? So then comes in a very important part of the game. There's so many people that are asking to leave the game that they are asking, okay, well, who want to be part of the game? And now they do a vote. The vote is I'm in the game or I'm out of the game. So now the craziest thing that happened is it's 99.99. These are all the people. Guys, remember that it's 201 player because they show that with 201 player. We have 100 and 100. The 100 and 100 is mute. There's just one guy left. Now, if you're smart, and hopefully you are, there's two people. Either we start from 0 and then we go to 456, or we go for 466 and go to 1. This is where it's tricky. We see the first one, and when he has the green light, red light, he's laughing and he's having fun, right? So he wouldn't want the game to continue. And then you got this last one, which is Jihan, our main characters. Does he choose to maintain the game, or does he choose to leave the game? It's actually quite cool. Actually quite cool. That is number one that votes. And he chooses to end the game. Now this is very important. I'm gonna give you guys the biggest spoiler right now. So if you don't want to listen to spoiler, skip 30 seconds. The number one is actually the main guy. He is the one behind the game. He is the one behind Squid Games. And why is that so important? Well, because he is the one that organized the game. So by giving them the choice of saying, we're going to charge this, I'll be right back because 5% batteries. It didn't charge last night, I don't know why. Does it matter? No, because we had the batteries. Does it matter? No, because we had the batteries, but at the same time, I wanted to charge. Okay, we're done in 20 minutes. So even if it doesn't charge right away, I don't really care. Okay, so that was what was I saying? So because he's the one that's organizing the game, you give them the choice. So you kind of knew because, oh, I charged the wrong thing. I'm dumb. Because of other Squid Games, he knew that some people want to. So you give them a choice. And he's like, okay, well, if you leave this time, because this is a big spoiler, if you leave this time, we won't invite you again. And if we invite you again, you'll know that we're killing you. So if you decide to join again, this is you knowing what to do. You just resolve. You made the choice unwillingly, unknowingly. Something. Or you make the choice unknowingly, and you know what's up. You designed that, so you didn't give a fuck. That's actually quite important. So everybody goes back home. You go back home and you go to. So you got the young girl and the guy, which means the current paper. Now, the funniest thing is, this girl, the young girl, she stole money from him in the racehorse. So because she stole money from him, that defend her was not crazy. They got together. Now we're gonna have Ali and the guy that gets sued. Right? This guy. Now, the crazy thing is, the guy who gets sued, they charge his phone. They continue to charge his phone. And when they charge his phone, he's able to see his message. And over his message are three dead people was money, people was money, people was money. This is to showcase that even though people just left the Squid Games, no, they're not in a better off position. They're still a financial wreck. So then we go in. There's a really cool scene. We have Ji-hoon. There's actually two good scenes here. So the first one is Ji-hoon goes to police and nobody believes. However, there's a crazy thing. One of the police officers, brothers is missing. And Ji-hoon, as a proof of this Squid Game are real, he gives him the card. The card that they received the square, the X, and triangle to the Squid Game. And he gives them the card. And then there's a proof. It's a real. And then they call the bill. It's a number. And when you call the number from a number that's not recognized, it's sending news to some friends. And then the police are like, oh, you're making fun of us. One police officer had the brother missing. And because the brother's missing, the only dude that has the card kidnapped. So the guy, the police officer know that Ji-hoon is telling the truth. He knows it's very true. It's like, holy shit. This is actually for real. It's for real, for real. It's just. We got main character. Again, going to police and we call it as a joke. Then you also need the old guy. Now it's never precise. It's never really precise why the old man has such a liking for Ji-hoon. Because they're enjoying shooting together, which is sort of alcohol. The police officer is, and what is kind of cool is, this is something I really enjoy about the storytelling. The storytelling here is quite nice. You had characters, now you know them. So you bring them back into real life. You bring them back into real life, and now you see the struggles. Like, for example, the girl to their brother, her brother's like, where's our parents? Why are you getting your parents? Where are they? They abandoned us. And the girl's like, no, but I can't tell you that they don't need money because I don't want to stress you with that. Now we have Ali. Ali, again, which is an amazing character. I love Ali. Ali is my top three characters. Like, my characters. Top five characters. The salesman, number one. Number two is Ji-hoon. Number three is possibly is also cool. The girls go back to see the guy who has money. Now this guy is actually super super important. This guy. So this guy right here, super important. And the first season, that's when the second season is actually quite nice. Actually quite nice. It's like, oh, you fucking over, you fucking over, you fucking over. And she'll say, if you don't find me, I'll kill you. If the money, I'll kill you. Now we have the mom. Officially, she loves her son so much. Which kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. That all these people are like, hey, so these are people that will sit on and are telling you your son will also leave. So I'm like, cool, I'm gonna have to sell my shop. This is my only way to do so. You know? Which kind of sucks. There's so much good people. This guy decides to get drunk, really fucking drunk, they don't want to pies. And this guy is really drunk son. And that's when they decide like, guess what? This is possibly the best way to do it. This is possibly the best way to get money. And now they're all of them, they're kind of looking for courage. Because Ji-hoon asking for his son for money. Now his friend for money is actually quite important. This guy is very important. So you ask him for money. And he didn't have money. He didn't have any money. That's so funny because this is why. This is why his son was speaking. All of them had a chance to go in. They had a reason to go out. We see the old man and June sharing a soju, which is kind of like a rice alcohol. And what they're doing here is super nice. It's super nice. They take a pack of ramen and they're pushing it. Now, Jason is a huge hint as to something the guy, the old man, constantly talk about himself, how when he was young he was so much fun. He was playing games. And he's saying it's what he did. And what things was he did. So this is kind of important because they show that he's in charge. But the gangsters which are the bad guys, here's a tattoo here that harmed the girl. And she's like, they're like, hey, guess what? We're gonna go to this person. We're gonna catch people. We're gonna go in. And we're gonna rob the place. We are gonna fucking rob the place. And that's pretty much it. Christian is like, for money, it doesn't work. We went to the wife. And the wife's like, okay, well, I'll give you money, but you gotta stay out of the daughter's life. So we kind of trade. Is the money for this kind of situation, which again proves he's an asshole. Kind of like an asshole. And there you go. That's season 1 for 2. Which is I said, like at least like 50%. And we're now trying to work with some of the following from in power. So that's pretty much it. Love you guys. Stay safe. Peace. John, when you should like me. Hope I got the show. Doing walks. I had a wonderful day on this 3 July 25. We'll talk about the weather. Just very quick. It's gonna be a beautiful day. Today we're not working, so we're going to film. There's gonna be some sunshine, some clouds, and some rain. So on this 3rd of July, you will get everything that you want and you want. I hope you enjoyed that question tonight. Good. Fucking so slow. You're fucking so slow. Holy shit. Like this sucks. Lost in time, trying to save the world. The Powerpuff Girl. Da 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 da. Cha 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 cha. tumtururum, tumtum, tumtum.